Hey everybody, welcome to the other channel. It's not a vlog channel, kind of behind the scenes. I just really wanted to kind of I want to take everybody kind of back with me. Sometimes there are things I want to put in and want to talk about that I can't, and I can kind of do that here for a little bit, or even just share some of the excitement that I get when I discover new things, something like that. So come along for the ride. I can kind of explain how my process goes and what I do. And if you think that's stupid, then we can always change that too. So my first step, what I do is I will just set up a very just a simple outline. We're about to start King of the Golden Hall, and I go through. I look, see how many pages it is. Okay, how am I going to split it up? Probably usually 3 parts now, and then just put the bullet points if I want to talk about this on this page. It says this, and really brief description of what I want to talk about. Of course, it changes as we go, and as I'm actually writing everything, that always changes as well. And I use what I'm using is I go through, use this version right here. It's the 50th anniversary. The first, this is actually probably not the first 50th anniversary I own or I bought, but I had just a regular one from a long time ago, 2002, 3, something like that. But anyway, so this one's good. It's updated stuff. And then I pair that with, here we go. So with Hammond and Skull's Reader's Companion, and I kind of go through to see, okay, and my little notes for what I'm doing on each different thing. I can go, okay, cool. Yep, this is the thing. Also look at page whatever in the companion and go from there. And that's just a huge help, and something that's completely necessary for going through. And when I actually write the actual scripts that I'm doing, that's when I go a little bit deeper. I have Kindle open on my computer, so I can copy and paste things, which is super good. I have both, the letters and the revised letters. Silmarillion and the Hobbit, if I have to go back there. There are other things that I referenced on occasion too. It was letters, Silmarillion, Unfinished Tales, also all on Kindle, so I can reference them and pull quote from them and bring them over, which makes it super, super easy. I don't believe this is on Kindle yet, so that'd be cool. But yeah, so first things first, I need to get these outlines done so we can actually go through and start really diving in really hard. So this was something that I was just reminded of. They're talking, Tolkien is talking about Silmarillion, and I never really knew how to say that. Ever mind the flower that grows on Rohirric, the king's barrows. So it's Silmarillion. Myrna. I can't really do it, but it's that Y in the second half. It's like saying "oh," but then you smile. Oh, no, E. Yeah, there it is. It's you say E and then go ooh. So and then go just with your mouth. Don't make the ooh sound. So Silmarillion. So Myrna. Really bad at it, but I learned that from that was Corey Olsen in Rings and Realms talking about Rings of Power season 2. Love it or hate it, or in between, whatever. I enjoy their content about it, but I also learned that's how you say that. So okay, so I finished my script. I didn't shoot any of it because I've been getting just bits and pieces of time to work on it because I have a 3-year-old. So yeah, there's that. This is generally what the desk looks like as I am shooting. Rare words I ended up not needing for this. The chapter we're in is King of the Golden Hall. So I have the book, which this one is the 50th anniversary, I believe. Yeah, 50th anniversary, all one copy. This is Hammond and Skull's Reader's Companion, which is just an amazing just amazing. And then I have up on my computer, I have the Kindle version. So when I was in college, sophomore year, pretty sure, second semester, spring semester, anyway, took a literature course, Lord of the Rings, which was awesome. One of the easiest classes I've ever taken. At this point, I'm 19. This is hard to open. Read Lord of the Rings, I don't know, 5 or 6 times at that point. And we'll get into probably the full story of my history with Lord of the Rings at some point. But in this one, the professor was good. I'm not a huge, as much a big nerd as I am, I'm not much of a, oh, this is great, let me look at all of this other stuff. I wasn't anyway. I'm more that way now. And what I learned almost shocked me. Tolkien didn't just write a book. I mean, at that point, I'd read Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, or I guess The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. And I learned that he didn't just write a book. He was a philologist. I mean, all this stuff that we all kind of know. But I was kind of learning it for the first time. He didn't just write books. I mean, obviously, he wrote some books, but he was a professor, a philologist, did a lot of stuff. And not only that, he loved Beowulf. Now, I hadn't read Beowulf at this point. I did eventually. It's not the point. But I learned that he liked Beowulf. So I did go read Beowulf. It was amazing. I learned so much about Tolkien. And this was now on my own. But I learned about Tolkien, philologist, Oxford, all the stuff that is known now that we all kind of take for granted. And it opened up a whole new everything for me. Unfinished Tales. Holy crap. I wrote a paper on war in Middle-earth, I think is what it was. Battles, war in Middle-earth. I'm sure it wasn't very good. I was a sophomore in college. I got Atlas of Middle-earth, Unfinished Tales, read the Silmarillion. Eventually, I think in the next 2 years, I read, what was it? Tolkien and the Great War. It was a whole new everything opened up. This professor taught me, not everything, that's a bit much, but I learned that I still had a lot to learn, which is probably one of the biggest things we can all learn. And from there, I mean, I'm doing a channel about Tolkien and his works, and it's pretty crazy. I don't know how many Tolkien books I have now. Maybe only 40 or 50, which some people, probably not a lot. For me, probably a fair amount. Yeah, I learned I didn't know anything. And there's so much more to learn. And I'm at the point now where I just have to talk about it. And that's what this whole thing is. That's why I have this. It's why I have this. It's all because, not only because, it's because of Tolkien, but that professor taught me just enough so that I knew that there was a lot more to find out and that Tolkien was deeper than I thought. Now, this was, well, we don't say how long it was, but I didn't dive in fully the way I am now until, call it 2021, when I got a different job and had time to listen to podcasts. And I discovered Corey Olson, Prancing Pony podcast, exploring Lord of the Rings, all of this stuff. And it made me see that there was more and more and more to find out about everything Tolkien wrote. Every line from Tolkien has some meaning, whether it's simply, hey, this part in Beowulf, where they had to leave their weapons at the door, is echoed in King of the Golden Hall, where the Coast Guard on Denmark, I have bone up on my Beowulf, but in Denmark, said, well, hey, I don't think you guys are supposed to be here, but I got a good feeling about it. That is Hama. That's Eomer. It's there's so much more to it. When, if you watched the videos on the main channel, it's where Sauron told Gandalf, well, the ring was in the river, washed into the river. That's, he's saying, Ulmo took care of it. The Valar got it. And it's crazy. It's awesome. It's deep. It's minorly self-promoting because now everybody wanted the Silmarillion. But it's pretty awesome. And here I am getting to share with you people, you fine people, and enjoy it. And it's it's a lot of work. It takes time to write these scripts, costs some money to buy the cool gear. But I'm also a nerd, so that's, I mean, obviously a nerd, but I like the gear, so that's fine. Yeah, that's my story of how I went down the absolute rabbit hole of Tolkien. So, got my teleprompter. I'm gonna get everything ready, and then we'll see you in the video.